flowing, sailing with the wind, not knowing how this story ends. Kind and brave, I know you'll find a way. Live your truth and good will come to you.
everyone doing? Happy spring. It is the end of April and I have caught the spring bug, like the good spring bug, not an illness, not a virus. I love spring. I have said it before. I come back to life in the spring. I think it's my favorite season, although summer is also pretty high up there. Maybe they're tied for first place. I love spring and summer. I think it's mostly because of the increase in sunlight. I love sun. I love the sun. I thrive with the sun. I know not everyone is like that. I have a friend who actually likes rainy days. I actually have a couple people I know who like rainy days. I like a rainy day every now and then, but for the most part, I am a sun girl. So anyway, because of this, because of the sun, because of the warmer days, I have had an increase in my energy and I have had this desire to get my house cleaned up and in order. Now, I keep a fairly neat house, fairly uncluttered house, mostly because clutter drives me crazy. Not other people's clutter, just my own clutter. I'm one of those type of people who I cannot make dinner until the sink is clear of dishes, because if I'm trying to make dinner and the sink is already full of dishes, I feel very stressed out. I'm also one of those people who, if I need to sit down and write or paint or whatever, if I have stuff around me, it stresses me out. So I tend to keep my house fairly clutter-free for that reason. Brad is the same way, so it works out because we're both good at keeping clutter at bay. So last week I tackled the kitchen, which I don't do traditional spring cleaning every year. There are years that I kind of just do like a more superficial clean. And then there's other years that I really get deep and I move appliances and all that kind of stuff. So this past week, I wiped down the cabinets really well. I wipe down the cabinet fronts like once every month or two because they're white and they show the gunk very quickly. But I wiped those down. I took down the lighting fixtures and soaked and washed those. Just did a little bit of a deeper clean. I have not moved my appliances. I actually cannot do that myself because of our flooring. It's like a pine floor. I think it's white pine, and I cannot move our appliances by myself. It requires two of us because we have to put the appliance, like the front legs, it'll scratch our floor like really bad. We've done it. First year having these floors. So anyway, learned our lesson on that one. So I haven't moved the appliances, but I did a deep clean with everything else, and it felt really good to get that done. I feel lighter when I know my house is cleaned like that. So then I knew I needed to get to this bedroom and do some stuff in here, because last November, some of you, if you were here and watched that vlog, I did some stuff in here. I painted this wall. I did some stenciling along the edges, and this is just one accent wall. The rest of the walls in our room are like this. It's a weird color. It's like, I see it as a very, very light blue, but sometimes it looks white. So it's just this one wall that is painted. But when I was in the process of doing that, I wiped down some of the other walls and areas and the ceiling fan and all that kind of stuff. But the one wall and one area I didn't work on is the wall that's on the other side of the camera. That is where my 2 bookcases full of yarn and crafting books are. And there is a corner between the one bookcase and the wall that I have stuff literally piled. Like, I have a basket full of projects. I have a bag of stuff that I bought, pillow forms I had bought at IKEA last year. I have a button-down denim shirt that I'm embroidering that is just piled there. I have my lighting kit for my podcast. I have a sweater that I'm mending for a friend. Like, I have all this stuff. It's literally piled from the floor up to the top of the bookcase. I never show you guys that. But it drives me crazy. So that, I thought I need to get to the master bedroom next, and I need to do some work in here. Like, I took down my curtains yesterday. I just did this yesterday. I took down the curtains yesterday, and I'm gonna wash them because, you know, dog hair gets stuck to them. And so that's something I like to do every year. You also probably remember from last year that we upgraded our bed from a queen size bed, which is what we had had our entire married life, to a king size bed. Now, the reason we did that was right there. That's our English Springer Spaniel, Tilly. And despite the fact that we said we will never again let a dog sleep in bed with us, She stole our hearts, and she sleeps in bed with us. And we quickly realized, so we got her last March, and in November is when we decided we wanted to upgrade to a king after, like, cause she just like gets between the two of us and just sprawls out. And she's such a cuddly dog. She's so lovable. I love it. I love it too much to be so annoyed with the negatives that I won't let her sleep in bed with me. So we bought a king size bed last year. It was, like a bed frame and mattress, because I guess we needed to get a new mattress too. And when we got the bed, I was honestly very disappointed. I do not typically write reviews, and I typically don't write negative reviews unless the product is so bad that I'm like, people need to know not to buy this, you know. I wrote a negative review for this bed. It was ridiculous. It was like a $300 and some bed frame, and it had the headboard, and we didn't even pay that much because we got it on a discount. But Brad and I built that, and I had filmed that portion of the whole experience. But what I didn't tell you guys is what happened 2 weeks later. The two front legs broke. My husband's very handy. I pretty much don't need to worry about anything when it comes to maintaining our house or building stuff or him fixing things. He is extremely handy, and if he doesn't know how to do something, he's not afraid to watch some videos on YouTube and to figure it out and tackle it. Being the handyman he is, he reinforced both front legs with 6 big bolts, and he tried to stabilize the bed other ways. It was just such a disappointment, and I knew when we got it and we were putting it together that it was probably not going to be a long-term bed frame, because the listing on the website had said it was solid wood, and when we got it, it was like this pressed wood type pulpy stuff with veneer over it, like a thin layer of veneer to make it have the wood grain look. The bed it was very wobbly. I remember thinking, is this safe to sleep on? And Tilly has a bed underneath that she lays. I'm like, should we pull that out and not let her lay under there? But anyway, after Brad stabilized it, I felt better about it. And I was like, okay. I looked on Facebook Marketplace because I was like, maybe we should just get a different bed. In our area, at least, it's really hard to find king-sized bed frames. There were lots of queen and full, but not really any king-size bed frames that I was interested in purchasing. So let's fast forward to February, I think it was. So February is when FlexiSpot reached out to me. I don't know if any of you know who FlexiSpot is, but it is a company, it's a global company, and I only knew them for their standing desks. Like when I heard FlexiSpot, I just thought, oh, they make desks, standing desks that you can raise up and down. So they had reached out and they asked me if I would like to try one of their Japanese joinery bed frames. And I was like, I could really use a new bed frame. Now we were making do with ours, but I knew that it was probably only going to be it wasn't going to be a long-term bed solution, because it was, even though Brad had stabilized it, it still was not a good quality bed frame. So I thought about it for a while. Now I get a lot of brands that reach out and ask me to do sponsorship videos for them, and I'm going to tell you that I turn down most of them because I am very particular about what I'm going to promote to you guys on here, and I want to know it's a good product, and I want to know that it's something that's going to bring value to somebody's life. And so I thought about it for a while, and then I reached out to them and said, sure, I will try one of the beds. Okay, so we ended up trying the Kana, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, it's K-A-N-A, I'll put it on the screen, Japanese joinery bed frame, and we got the headboard with it. You can get this bed, just the frame. You can get the wooden headboard like we have, which you can see back here. There's also a pillow headboard, which was kind of appealing, but then it was like dog hair will get stuck to it. So I opted not to get that, and I really liked the warm look of this headboard that we ended up getting. It's called Japanese joinery because of the way that you put it together. It is a traditional woodworking technique where the pieces of the bed frame fit together very precisely, very nicely. They just slide in place, and this technique eliminates the need for a lot of different hardware. I didn't need a screwdriver. I didn't need a drill. Like, it was very easy. And because of the way it's put together, it produces in the end a very stable, sturdy bed. And I can definitely attest to that after having slept in this. There is like no movement at all. There's no wiggle. This is solid. It's a solid bed, and it's made out of solid wood, which is important to me. And it is rubber wood, very sturdy, heavy. Like the pieces of this feel substantial and sturdy. They don't feel like junk. I was very impressed with the quality of it. It also has underneath the frame, like, so you have your rectangular frame and your headboard, and then there's also some pieces and legs that you put in the middle to help give even more stability. And then you just roll out your slats, which attach to the frame with Velcro strips. The other thing that I really liked, the back legs for the headboard, and then even if you don't get the headboard option, even if you just get the legs, they have this little feature. They're recessed, so they sit flat up against your wall and kind of curve around any kind of trim that you might have on like your baseboard. So it's like this, it's right up against the wall. So FlexiSpot is a global company known for its ergonomical, functional pieces. And as I said, I only knew that they made standing desks, but I got on their website before I decided to move forward with the sponsorship, and I was looking at their other pieces. They have chairs, various types of chairs. They have couches. They have beds, nightstands. Like, they have other home line products that look beautiful, and I'm sure after having this bed now and knowing how sturdy it is, I would not have any hesitation buying any kind of furniture off of FlexiSpot. Also, they ship really quickly. I got the notification from UPS that it was shipping, and then within 3 days, there were 3 boxes set out on my porch from UPS. So the shipping is absolutely amazing and so super quick. Another really important thing about this bed is that there is enough clearance underneath it for Tilly's bed, because as I already mentioned, Tilly likes to sleep under the bed. Now, she sleeps up here with us during the night, and if I'm up here, she wants to be close to her mama. But I will often find Tilly under the bed taking daytime naps, and so I stuck a bed underneath there, like a dog bed underneath there for her. It fits fine. She's able to go under and to enjoy some nice, quiet, restful naps during the day. So if you're in the market for a new bed, I will leave all of the information down below, because I do have a code for my viewers. If you would like to purchase this bed or their U3 hybrid mattress or their underbed storage drawers, you can use the code JPBF for an extra $20 off of your order from any of those products. Again, I will leave the link down below in the video description. So yeah, definitely check out FlexiSpot if you're looking for home pieces that are both beautiful as well as functional, as well as very sturdy and stable. I imagine we are going to have this bed for the unforeseeable future, because it is that. I'm that impressed with it. So FlexiSpot, thank you so much for sending us this bed. We really appreciate it, and thank you for sponsoring this video today. Shall we have a little crafty chat? As I have talked about and shown in this video, I've been doing a lot of home cleaning and home type projects. I've also been getting stuff ready in my garden area. So because of that, my knitting, I don't know, it's just the way it is this time of year. It's just more, my knitting time is just less prolific. I am having so much fun getting my garden area. I'm dreaming, I have so many dreams. I just ordered more seeds, mostly flower seeds. I think I ordered a couple herbs, but I ordered a bunch of zinnia seeds. I love planting zinnias because they are just the flower that you just throw the seeds in and then you have just flowers all, I'm trying to think, is it August, September, even into October? Maybe even towards the end of July, we start getting them that I can cut them, you know, because it takes a little while. I don't start those ahead of time. I just throw them in the ground in the bed. Same with the cosmos. But I will maybe share a little bit more about the seeds that I ordered because I have not received them yet. and they were having the website that I ordered them from, which is called Seed Therapy. This was my first time ever ordering from Seed Therapy. I usually order from Baker Creek or Southern Exposure, but I did a Google search on zinnia seeds and I found this website, and then I Googled them to make sure they were legit, and they're legit. They're a small family-run business. I got onto their website and they had almost all of their seed packets on sale for $1.99 for 100 seeds. And I was like, that's cheaper than you can get at Walmart. So, and then if you spend $35, you got free shipping. So I spent 37 bucks and I got 12 or 13 packets of seeds. Yeah, something like that. So excited. I'm so excited. And then I have all my starters, which I keep having to move into the house and back out because we had really nice weather. So I moved them all up because they were starting to look a little bit questionable downstairs under the grow lamps. And I think it's because it's consistently like 63 down in our basement. It's not heated in the area that I keep them. At least I think there's like one vent in that whole entire big space. So I moved them up, put them out on my back deck, and then we had weather that went down below freezing several nights. And so they were brought into the house, and I just moved them back out today because it's supposed to be in the 70s today. So they just like being outside in the sun and warmth. I totally get it. But I'm really excited about those. I'm just so excited to garden this year. Last year, I was not. I think I was having some major emotional difficulties with Ian getting married. He got married at the end of March, and then, just life. Anytime there's a life transition, I feel like for me, maybe it's everybody, but I feel like I'm very sensitive to those changes. And so I just feel like maybe I get in a bit of a funk for a while. So I was in a funk last year. Gardening wasn't really anything I got super excited about, which is unusual for me, but it's okay because this year I'm ready to go. I'm so excited. So excited. Okay, but what I want to do is I want to show you, I need to get this. I'm going to get this skeined up because I'm doing the Pressed Flowers Kerchief by Amy Christophers. I'm knitting this as a sample for my friend Jody of Flower Hill Fleeces. She is going to be vending this year at this market season at multiple markets, fiber markets. And so I'm going to have this ready for her June market at Fayette County Fiber Festival. So I'm gonna get this skeined up today. That's on my to-do list. And I have Brad's birthday socks almost done, which his birthday was yesterday. So I didn't get them done in time, but I literally have like another inch before I can start the toe decrease on the second sock. So I told him he's getting them. But look at how good I'm doing on this. This is my Tolsta tank, which is a pattern by Rebecca Clow. So I've already split for the sleeves. I've done the entire back. You can see the sleeve decreases, like as you decrease as you work up. So here's the back. And then the front. So this morning I put these stitches back onto my needle, and I think I did like 4 rows before I had to get my day started. But this is mostly all I've been wanting to work on because I want to wear it and I want to cast on for another summer project. So I've been working on this a lot. Plus I'm really enjoying it. I'm using Drops Saffron yarn. I've talked about this before, so I don't want to like bore you guys with being redundant, but I'm knitting it in 3 different colors, which is the sea green, the red clay, and then this off-white color. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. The Drop Saffron is also nice. It's a sport weight yarn. I'm doing the fingering weight version of this pattern, but it's working out. I did go down in my needle size. I went down to a size US 2, which is a 2.75 millimeter. So that is how I was able to get gauge with this. This is a nice cotton yarn. You know how some cotton yarns are really splitty? I'm not finding that at all with this yarn, but I am nursing an injury, which I talked about. And I think my finger has hurt ever since I started this project, like after I was working on it for a couple of days, and it's, you know, pretty sure it's because cotton doesn't have stretch. This is 100% cotton yarn. And so that's a bit of a bummer because my finger does really hurt, and I'm trying to baby it when I'm not knitting, and I'm trying to knit English style, but I'm so much faster knitting continental style. So sometimes I'll switch back to manipulating the yarn with my left finger, and then I'm like, oh, why did I do that? So anyway, this is going to be done soon. Probably, I would assume this will be done by the next time I do like a proper podcast, like show and tell episode where I show all my finished objects and my whips. And I am just like so ready to go on the drop spell projects. I have that yarn that I ordered and I showed a couple of episodes ago, and I have all these patterns I want to knit. I'm just like, I wish I had more time. Also, it would be nice if I could knit while I'm doing other things. I decided that as well. Like, knitting requires me to be pretty sedentary. I know people knit and walk. I understand. And I can do that with something like socks. Like, I have actually done that with Brad's socks. When I've taken Tilly out to walk, I have worked on his socks while I've been walking. But bigger projects, that's not, it doesn't work well for me to walk and knit. So usually when I'm knitting, I'm sitting, which is kind of a bummer because I feel like I am an active person. So sometimes it is hard for me to sit there for a long time, especially when the sun's out and there's blue sky and it's warm and I don't have to put a winter coat on to go outside. So that's part of the struggle. So anyway, one other thing, I want to share some sad news. Our dog, our beautiful dog, 14-year-old dog, Mitti, is no longer with us. Last week was a rough dog week. It was a very rough dog week. We had Tilly spayed on Tuesday, and that was fine. I mean, she's a very active dog, so it's been a challenge. She's still within that 10 to 14 day period where she's supposed to have limited activity and all that stuff. So that's been a challenge. But then Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and then Wednesday around dinner time, a little later, Mitti had 2 seizures. So in like a 16-hour period, Mitti had 2 seizures, and she has been getting seizures since last fall. And the vet was like, well, there's probably something going on, in her brain, but she's old. She was over 14. She turned 14 last November. So we weren't going to do anything heroic. You know what I mean? Anyway, she also had, like, I forget what they're called, but they're basically like large fat masses. They're not cancerous, they're benign, but she had them all over her, and she had pretty bad arthritis. And so I had been giving her, we had 2 different kinds of pain medicines. We had gabapentin, which helped with the pain, but also was supposed to help with the seizure activity. And honestly, she was only having a seizure maybe like once every 1.5 months. But when she had 2 in that 16-hour period, I was just like, we can't. It's so hard. We put Molly down last year. She was our Shorkie. She was over 16 years old. And like, you just want them to go on their own so you don't have to make that call. But I also knew with Molly, we waited too long. She was so sick. And I remember afterwards feeling like so bad because it was for selfish reasons that we were holding on to her, that we didn't take her sooner to be put down because, you miss them. And so Brad and I took Mitti. I called the vet Thursday morning and I told them what was going on, and we scheduled to take her in Thursday afternoon and have her put down. And it was very sad, and we both cried a lot, and the vet tech was so sweet. And we went into the room where they euthanize, and they had a candle lit, like one of those battery operated ones, and a box of tissues. And they had a glass jar full of Hershey Kisses, and it was labeled Goodbye Kisses. And I was like, and they didn't have that when I took Molly last year. So the vet tech comes in and she gets down on the floor with Mitti, and she's all sweet, and she gives Mitti a Hershey Kiss. And Mitti's like, oh, that's so good, because Mitti was an eater for sure. She loved food. Anyway, the vet tech gave her the medicine to kind of make her sleepy. And that took about maybe a minute to kick in. But in the meantime, she's like, she can have as many Hershey Kisses as she wants, you know, because it doesn't matter at this point in life that she's eating chocolate. Mitti ate 10 Hershey Kisses, and she got the 11th one into her mouth before she fell asleep. And that was just such a sweet experience because, like, it was such a hard thing, but we have that memory of Mitti just loving the Hershey Kisses and being so happy eating them. So it was such a good experience, as good as that type of experience can be. And yeah, we brought her home and we let Tilly see her, and Tilly was off for a couple of days, just whimpering and pacing, and she was post-surgical, so it was just, yeah, anyway. So Mitti is now buried under the pine trees where Molly is also buried on the back corner of our property. And last night, I've been doing pretty good, but last night I went to put something on Brad's bedside table, and that is where Mitti her bed was down there beside his bedside table. And so I walked over there and I saw that empty spot and I just started bawling because I was like, oh, you know, she was with us for 14 years, and her and Molly were both the dogs that we had when our kids were growing up. So it's like a closing of that season of life again. Kids growing up, getting married, moving out, you know, all that stuff. Your dogs pass away. But we are just really thankful. Mitti was such a wonderful dog. Lily actually took some video and some pictures of Mitti on Thursday. She does not look like a dog who needs to be put to sleep, but she is also really pumped up on pain pills this particular day because she was doing so poorly. So I will go ahead and put that on here as well so that you guys can see that, because I always said when I was filming, I'd often say, Mitti's snoring in the background. I hope you don't mind. So yeah, that is sad, but we're thankful for the time we had with her, and we're really thankful for that experience we had at the vet when we took her in. It was just Mitti eating the Hershey Kisses was just so, she was just so happy. So anyway, yeah. You two are funny. All right, I think I'm gonna wrap up the talking right now because it's time for me to go get some more stuff done. Lots of laundry to do today. It's Monday. It's a Monday morning. Monday's my big laundry day, so I have lots of laundry to do, and you know, just other things that have to be done, the other routine tasks of keeping a home. But I do love keeping a home, so I'm thankful I can do them. But yeah, all right. Thanks for listening to me chat away.